Science in Islam. The Quran is the final revelation from God to humanity. Although the Quran, revealed over 14 centuries ago, is not primarily a book of science, it does contain scientific facts that have been scientifically discovered only recently through the advancement of technological equipment. Moreover, it does not promote an anti-scientific stance, but rather encourages scientific research. Indeed, studying and understanding the nature of creation enables people to further appreciate their Creator and the extent of His sovereignty. Human embryonic development. In the Quran, God speaks about the stages of man's embryonic development. We created man from an extract of clay. Then we made him as a drop in a place of settlement, firmly fixed. Then we made the drop into an alaqa, leech, suspended thing, and blood clot. Then we made the alaqa into a mudgha, chewed substance. Quran chapter 23 verses 12 to 14. The Arabic word alaqa has three meanings. Number 1, leech. When comparing a leech to an embryo in the alaqa stage, we find similarities. Also, the embryo at this stage obtains nourishment from the blood of the mother, similar to a leech. Number 2, suspended thing. Number 3, blood clot. The external appearance of the embryo and its sacs during the alaqa stage are similar to that of a blood clot. This is due to large amounts of blood present in the embryo during this stage. The next stage mentioned is the mudgha stage, which means chewed substance. If one were to chew a piece of gum and compare it to the embryo at this stage, we would conclude that the embryo resembles a chewed substance. This is due to somites, cells that form the vertebrae at the back of the embryo, that, according to Dr. Moore and Persaud, somewhat resemble teeth marks in a chewed substance. 40 days in the womb. Professor Simpson is the chairman of the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology and professor of molecular and human genetics at the Baylor College of Medicine, Houston. Upon studying the following two sayings of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him: "In every one of you, all components of your creation are collected together in your mother's womb by 40 days. And if 42 nights have passed over the embryo, God sends an angel to it who shapes it and creates its hearing, vision, skin, flesh, and bones." He noted that the first 40 days constitute a clearly distinguishable stage of embryogenesis. According to modern science, the end of the 6th week, 42 nights, is the time where the fetal development of the limbs is at its height. This is the peak of the rapid development that occurs between the 4th and 8th week. He was particularly impressed by the absolute precision and accuracy of Prophet Muhammad's sayings, peace be upon him. The two seas that do not intermix. Regarding the seas, God says, "He has let loose the two seas, converging together, with a barrier between them, which they do not break through." Quran chapter 55, verses 19 to 20. The scientific fact that seas of different properties do not intermix has only very recently been discovered by oceanographers. A physical force called surface tension prevents the waters of neighboring seas from mixing, due to the difference in the density of these waters. It is as if a thin wall were between them. The creation of living things from water. Allah created every living creature from water. Some of them go on their bellies, some of them on 2 legs, and some on 4. Allah creates whatever He wills. Allah has power over all things. Quran chapter 24 verse 45. Water is the main component of organic matter. Between 50% to 90% of the weight of living things consist of water. Furthermore, 80% of the cytoplasm, basic cell material, is water. The analysis of cytoplasm took place hundreds of years after the revelation of the Quran. Mountains as stabilizers. Mountains play an important role in stabilizing the crust of the earth by hindering its shaking. God has said in the Quran, "And He has set firm mountains in the earth, so that it would not shake with you." Quran chapter 16 verse 15. Likewise, the modern theory of plate tectonics agrees that mountains work as stabilizers for the earth. The knowledge about the role of mountains as stabilizers has just begun to be understood by scientists in the framework of plate tectonics. What do modern scientists say? Dr. Keith Elmore, Professor Emeritus of Anatomy and Cell Biology, was Associate Dean of Basic Sciences at the Faculty of Medicine as well as the Chairman of the Department of Anatomy. He is the author of the book entitled The Developing Human, which has been translated into 8 languages and was chosen by a special committee in the United States as the best book authored by one person. During one conference, Professor Moore stated, "It has been a great pleasure for me to help clarify statements in the Quran about human development. It is clear to me that these statements must have come to Muhammad from God, because almost all of this knowledge was not discovered until many centuries later. This proves to me that Muhammad must have been a messenger of God." Dr. T.V.N. Prasad, Professor of Anatomy, Professor of Pediatrics and Child Health, and Professor of Obstetrics, Gynecology, and Reproductive Sciences at the University of Manitoba, Canada, was the chairman of the Department of Anatomy for 16 years. He is the author or editor of 22 textbooks and has published over 181 scientific papers. He received the most distinguished award presented in the field of anatomy in Canada, the GCB Grant Award, from the Canadian Association of Anatomists. When he was asked about the scientific miracles in the Quran which he has researched, he stated the following: "You have someone illiterate making profound pronouncements and statements that are amazingly accurate about scientific nature. And I personally can't see how this could be a mere chance. There are too many accuracies, and, like Dr. Moore, I have no difficulty in my mind that this is a divine inspiration or revelation which led him to these statements." In conclusion, this talk has provided a mere glimpse of the many scientific facts mentioned in the Quran. Due to time limitations, topics such as what the Quran says about the water cycle, the oceans, astronomy, history, the human anatomy, flora and fauna could not be included. These scientific facts were revealed over 1,400 years ago, when technological equipment and knowledge were inadequate to make such discoveries. This proves that not only these facts, but the remaining contents of the Quran were divinely revealed from the one true God, who created the universe and all that it contains. Be of those who read and discovers the beauty and truth of the Quran, so that you may discover the beauty and truth of this world and the world of the afterlife to come.